Nike just released a brand new commercial featuring Caitlin Clark and her new Kobe shoe that she released today. And I saw this commercial yesterday on social media. I thought it was so cool. There's a shot when she's in the locker room and she opens her eye and it like turns into what looks like a snake eye, but when you zoom in, it's actually the Kobe logo.
Strap in, because the sports world just got blindsided by a twist straight out of a reality show cliffhanger. Caitlin Clark, the WNBA's ticket to primetime, might be gearing up to walk away from the league altogether and build her own empire. And the spark? A staggering $28 million Nike deal that's got the entire sneaker world in a frenzy.
Nike finally delivers Caitlin Clark PE. Is this the first Caitlin Clark exclusive Nike commercial since she's entered the WNBA? I know she's made a cameo here, she's made a cameo there, she was featured as part of this rollout here, featured as part of this rollout there, but is this our first official Caitlin Clark solo commercial since she has joined the WNBA?
You heard that right. While the WNBA tosses her crumbs, Nike's backing up the money truck like she's the next Michael Jordan. But here's the real question. Is Caitlin Clark about to channel her Mamba mentality, her sold-out Kobe sneakers, and her massive fan base into launching a brand new league that could blow the WNBA off the map? Oh yeah, this could get legendary.
The WNBA needs Caitlin Clark more than Caitlin Clark needs the WNBA. If the league will not protect her and allow her to play basketball at the highest level, then she should leave and start a brand new league.
Let's break down that Nike deal, shall we? Back in April 2024, Caitlin Clark signed an eye-popping 8-year, $28 million contract with the swoosh, complete with her own signature shoe already being hailed as a $150 million game-changer. To put it in perspective, that deal alone is worth more than most WNBA franchises. Meanwhile, she's grinding for just $78,000 a year with the Indiana Fever. Total disrespect. So it's no surprise the internet is buzzing with rumors that Clark's fed up. Why stick around in a league that treats her like a rookie intern when Nike's ready to put a crown on her head? Outlets like Essentially Sports are even hinting that Nike, with its $33 billion war chest, could bankroll an entirely new Caitlin Clark-led league. If I'm Clark, I bounce from the WNBA tonight and build an empire of my own. Ask ChatGPT.
Look, these things is some fire. I'm telling you, where there's smoke, there is fire, and these things is hitting so hard. And who got a bot? Who a shoe plug? Because I need 2 pairs. I need one for the sneaker wall, and I need one for my feet, because these things is hitting right here, and no, I don't want to pay $600 on Go.
Picture it. Sold-out arenas, overflowing with her fans, jerseys vanishing from shelves, and Caitlin Clark running the whole show. Meanwhile, let's give a slow, sarcastic clap to the WNBA for lowballing the one superstar who single-handedly dragged their viewership out of obscurity. But what would actually push her to leave? The answer might just be hidden in one haunting Nike ad the moment Clark stopped being just a player and became the sport's most dangerous symbol.
Already, I'm pretty sure you have. Nike has released a new Caitlin Clark commercial, and they made it their business to show love and show out for none other than CC.
Nike didn't just release an ad, they dropped a statement. The trailer for Caitlin Clark's exclusive Kobe Vive Pro sneakers felt less like a commercial and more like a crowning moment. Imagine this. Clark in a shadowy, dramatic room, lacing up those sharp black and gold Kobe Vives. Her gaze sharpens, her eyes transforming into snake-like slits as she fully taps into that cold-blooded Mamba mentality.
So it's finally here. Caitlin Clark sneakers from Nike is finally dropping. She was signed to them last year, and the sneakers is a year late in my opinion, but nonetheless, I'm excited because these sneakers is finally coming out. But what does annoy me a little bit is that this is a collaboration with Kobe. Now, Kobe, respect to Kobe, the legend, rest in peace, great basketball player. But in my opinion, Caitlin Clark is a big enough star and she's creating her own legacy. So I feel like, at least for her first sneaker, it shouldn't be a collaboration with any other player, dead or alive, in my opinion. I feel like Caitlin should have, for her first shoe, had her own original design just for her, no collaboration.
The internet absolutely exploded. Clark's $190 Kobe 5 sneakers sold out in just 5 minutes on June 30th, 2025. Resale prices skyrocketed to $600. Sneakerheads were left devastated, crying into their keyboards. But this wasn't just a product drop. It was a declaration. Nike wasn't just endorsing a player, they were anointing a cultural force. And still, the haters had the nerve to clutch their pearls. Why is a rookie getting Kobe-level treatment, they whined. Spare us. Clark earned every bit of it, shattering records like glass and dragging an entire league into the spotlight. But that Nike ad? That was just the spark. The real fire is in the numbers. Clark's games pull in an average of 1.09 million viewers, while the rest of the WNBA scrapes by with 414,000. That's a 163% surge. She's also driven a 93% jump in ticket sales and a 48% spike in attendance. Too big for the league? The numbers speak for themselves. Let's talk numbers, chaos, and corporate facepalms. One report estimates Caitlin Clark is responsible for 26.5% of the WNBA's entire economic activity. Read that again. Over a quarter of the league's value rests on one player. The Indiana Fever sold out games nationwide before she even touched a WNBA court. Meanwhile, Nike got roasted for not having enough inventory and is now scrambling to meet the demand of a fan base that grows by the minute. Clark isn't just moving the needle, she is the needle. And yet, for a full year, Nike treated her like a nice prospect instead of the unicorn she is. Are you kidding? They had gold in their backyard and gave it a plastic shovel. But this story isn't just about stats, it's about the backlash. Social media is flooded with the same tired, lazy complaints. She's overhyped. What about A'ja Wilson? She hasn't earned it. Yawn. These aren't critiques, they're meltdowns from people watching a 23-year-old rewrite their rulebook in real time. Clark didn't just win the popularity contest, she obliterated it, pulling in a record 1.29 million All-Star votes in 2025, the most in WNBA history. But critics can't stand that she didn't play by their script, where rookies are supposed to shut up, wait their turn, and maybe get a moment in year 3. Meanwhile, she's out here crashing Nike's sneakers app and selling out arenas with one tweet. The market has spoken, and the haters? They're just noise. Now, let's talk about Nike's near disaster. According to 15-year company vet Jordan Rogers, Nike dragged its feet on Clark, slow-playing the biggest cultural and commercial force since Jordan himself. Why? Fear. Fear of controversy, pundits, race-baiting headlines. So instead of embracing Clark's superstardom, they played it safe, pushing A'ja Wilson's shoe line while Clark's camp was left in the dark. Wilson even admitted she'd known about her shoe deal for 2 years. Meanwhile, Clark, whose fan demand makes sneaker resale bots weep, was getting ghosted. Nike finally stopped tiptoeing and said, "Fine, let's win." That ad wasn't just branding, it was a torch passing. Clark has been wearing Kobe's since Iowa. She called them her magic shoes. The serpent imagery, a spiritual handoff. A nod to Kobe, who mentored players like Sabrina Ionescu and championed women's hoops before it was trendy. Critics, who call it a gimmick, clearly never watched Clark hit logo threes with Kobe-level swagger. This was no PR stunt. It was legacy in motion. And that $28 million Nike deal? It's not just a payday, it's a wrecking ball aimed at decades of sexist sports marketing. For too long, women's basketball got the junior varsity treatment. Low-budget ads, second-rate deals, and zero cultural respect. Clark shattered that overnight. Now, brands like Gatorade, State Farm, and even local economies are cashing in. Cities are calling it the Caitlin Clark stimulus package. Experts say her 2026 signature shoe could rival the $100 million debut of Air Jordan. Think about that. So, why did Nike hesitate? Simple. They were terrified of her power. Clark isn't just a player. She's a lightning rod, a once-in-a-generation disruptor. And disruptors scare corporations that thrive on playing it safe. But here's the twist. Nike realized they couldn't win the culture war, so they chose to win the market. Her 2024 NCAA title game pulled 18.9 million viewers, crushing the men's final. Her WNBA games? Best ratings in 24 years. The numbers don't lie. The fans certainly don't. But here's where things get wild. What if Clark isn't done shaking the table? That wild rumor about her starting her own league, maybe it's not so wild. When you're making $28 million from Nike, crashing apps, selling out merch in 5 minutes, and literally generating a third of your league's economy, you don't have to play by anyone's rules. Imagine her linking up with Nike to launch a new league. Fair salaries, packed arenas, global streaming. She wouldn't just be the face, she'd be the founder. The WNBA fumbled her value. Nike has the money to build something new. Would she actually do it? Who knows? But one thing's clear, Caitlin Clark isn't just playing the game, she's reprogramming it. Meanwhile, the WNBA is still stuck arguing over whether she deserves the spotlight, missing the bigger picture. For decades, the leagues limped along, bouncing between TV deals, begging for sponsors, and surviving on NBA handouts. Then along comes Clark, the miracle they never saw coming, and they hand her a salary that wouldn't cover a decent used car. It's laughable. They whine about media coverage and ticket sales, then treat the woman solving those problems like she's just another rookie. It's like getting handed a winning lottery ticket and complaining about the paper cut. She's not just boosting numbers, she's bringing generational wealth, and the WNBA tells her to wait her turn. Embarrassing. Now picture Nike's boardroom. A bunch of suits sweating through PowerPoint decks titled, "How We Almost Fumbled the Bag." Clark's out here printing money for everyone, and they almost let her walk. And here's the deeper issue. Her story exposes the rot in women's pro sports. The structure is so broken that a player can bring in more revenue than franchises and still earn less than a middle manager. She's filling arenas, crashing sites, and turning women's basketball into a cultural movement, and yet her salary barely registers. The league's response? Treat her like she should be thankful to be underpaid. Meanwhile, the WNBA has spent years trying to manufacture rivalries, force drama, and build storylines. Then Clark shows up, and suddenly everything clicks. No gimmicks needed. She's the storyline. She's must-see TV every time she steps on the court. And the league still treats her like she's interchangeable with player number 12. And here's the next storm, international offers. Overseas leagues with deep pockets are watching. Imagine Clark getting a $5 million offer from Europe or the Middle East to play in packed arenas with real pay. The WNBA would be left explaining to sponsors how they lost the one player keeping them afloat. It would be the ultimate facepalm. A masterclass in how to blow a golden opportunity. Clark isn't just redefining basketball, she's redefining business. Her Nike deal has reset the bar for everyone. Players are demanding more, sponsors are reevaluating their deals. Clark's not just shaking the system, she's teaching everyone their true value. So what's next? Smart Money says Clark and Nike are already exploring what comes after the WNBA. Why settle for being underpaid in a broken league when you could build your own? Streaming exists. Tech exists. Global markets are waiting. Clark doesn't need permission to change the game. She just needs a launch pad. And if the WNBA loses her, they'll only have themselves to blame. They treated a generational talent like a rookie. And now, they might watch her build a new empire while they're left behind, still wondering how it all slipped away.